What is up, guys? Welcome back to my reaction channel. You know who it is? It's Chris. Today we're gonna be reacting to the smallest man to serve the US Army by Simple History. Y'all know the drill, guys. Like the video, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell button for post notifications. If you have any suggestions, comment down below. With that being said, let's get into the intro.
Richard Flaherty, the smallest man to serve in the U.S. Army.
Richard Flaherty.
In the modern history of the United States
He's
Armed
so
Forces,
small, though.
Captain Richard J. Flaherty was remembered not only for his undisputed bravery and determination, but also for his distinctive stature. The Giant Killer, as his comrades in arms called him, was the smallest man to serve in the military of the United States. With a height of only 4 feet 9 inches and weighing just 97 pounds, he wasn't even supposed to enter the force. The Army was his life's dream, though, and he was determined to make it happen contrary to other people's opinions. Flaherty's short stature marked his entire life, starting from early childhood. He was lucky to be born at all. His mother's blood problems caused a hormonal disbalance, and it almost cost Richard his life as a baby. This problem ultimately resulted in his stunted growth. When Flaherty became a teenager, the issue became an enormous burden for him. He had to put up with constant staring in school and was often mistaken as a freshman when he was a senior. Flaherty was aware of his height and did everything in his power to overcome it by becoming stronger. Engaged in practicing martial arts, he would often spend time breaking wooden boards or hitting bricks with his bare hands. It was as if, even at that point in his life, he knew his destiny was to be a fearsome warrior. Upon finishing high school, the opportunity came for his wish to come true, to join the U.S. Army. He desperately wanted to do his patriotic duty and serve in the Vietnam War that was raging in Asia at the time. The problem was that the Army's minimum height requirement was 5 feet. Flaherty was 3 inches short, but big on confidence and determination to get in. After reaching out to his congressman, who passed his wish on to an unknown 3-star general, Flaherty was allowed to enter the initial entry training at Fort Jackson, North Carolina. Problems regarding his stature followed Flaherty in the Army as well. Upon showing up on the first day of his course on the inspection line, he was welcomed by the drill sergeant with the words, "What the heck is this?" Flaherty already knew he would have to work twice as hard as anyone else to break everyone's prejudices. It was to the amazement of the drill sergeants and other recruits that Flaherty, aka Private Mighty Mouse, always ended up in the top 5 position on all the courses. When he was supposed to climb over the wooden wall obstacle, he would do it with the help of a sharpened screwdriver with the same swiftness as the other soldiers. Besides the various obstacles, Flaherty also had to fight with the
Bro, it's not even allowed in training, carrying sharp screwdrivers. You know, you're supposed to train without something, without holding something, right? Without tools, right? So it's not even allowed, though, like, but wait, I'm not discrediting him, though. I'm not discrediting him. I'm just saying, bro.
disdain of other recruits who found him unworthy to be a soldier. Only after he showed his teeth in a fight against a recruit twice as large who always picked on him did he earn the respect he fully deserved from his peers. It was only thanks to his powerful will that Flaherty finished the basic and advanced infantry course and earned an offer to enter the officer candidate school at Fort Benning, Georgia. After graduating from OCS, including the jump school, Flaherty was sent to Fort Campbell, Kentucky, home to one of the most legendary units of the U.S. Army, the 101st Airborne Division. From there, in December 1967, just prior to the Tet Offensive, Flaherty went to Vietnam, deployed at the Bien Hoa Air Base. In Vietnam, Flaherty was engaged as a platoon leader on search and destroy missions. It was a remarkably tough job, with days spent in the deep jungle setting up ambushes and hunting down the enemy. Flaherty and the men from his platoon, like the rest of the 101st Airborne, were always in the center of the action. In accordance with his personality, Flaherty was always there to lead. At one point, he was even wounded from gunfire and grenade shrapnel, but recovered and went back into the action fighting like there was no tomorrow. Like everything else in his life, Flaherty even fought a war his own way. He did all he could do to overcome his lack of height. To drive an old ambulance truck, he fitted the pedals with wooden blocks so he could reach them. He could barely see over the wheel, but that didn't stop him from doing
bro.
his duty. For his gallantry shown in combat, Flaherty earned his highest decoration, the Silver Star Medal.
Yo.
On early April 19, 1968, 2nd Lieutenant Flaherty, 3rd Platoon Leader, along with the officers of Company C, 1st Battalion, 501st Infantry Regiment, was presented with Operation Delaware. Flaherty's unit was tasked with blocking the enemy's supply routes to the Ashaw Valley, where primary operations were conducted. Flaherty had already seen some fierce combat by this time, but this operation was especially intense. Company C faced a determined enemy. The NVA were fighting en masse, and Flaherty and his men were pushing them back only thanks to the support of artillery. Flaherty was determined not to give in, and he encouraged his men to fight.
Fuck,
It was
bro,
April
he's small
20th,
but
the second day of
terrible.
the operation. Several soldiers from the company were lost behind enemy lines from the previous day. It seemed like they were lost for good, but not to Flaherty. He wanted to show that no man was to be left behind, a pure example of leadership.
Bro.
He ordered his men to bring over the body of a dead NVA soldier, the smallest one they could find. Flaherty stripped the uniform from the dead enemy and put it on along with a helmet to cover his face as a disguise, grabbed an AK-47, and crawled over towards the lost men. Under the cover of night, he passed by enemy NVA and gathered the lost American soldiers. For once, his height was of great use. Only thanks to Flaherty being short and brave were 5 soldiers saved from certain death. Later that day, Company C continued attacking the enemy positions. The NVA
He's
threw
lucky his
everything they
soldiers
had
didn't
at
shoot
them.
him.
At one point, the company got pinned down by automatic fire from an enemy bunker. Any further progress would have been impossible until it was eliminated. Flaherty maneuvered his men to outflank the enemy. After exposing himself to enemy fire several times, he reached a position that gave him a clear view of the emplacement. He then called for a 90mm recoilless rifle team to his position. Flaherty directed the fire towards the bunker and
God
destroyed
damn, bro,
it, therefore
this
relieving
guy.
pressure on his unit. Company C then continued with its attack and accomplished its mission. From that point on, there was absolutely no doubt that Richard Flaherty was among one of the best the 101st Airborne had.
Yeah, for real.
He was promoted to the rank of First Lieutenant and recommended for the Silver Star Medal, which he later received. Flaherty's wishes were, however, connected to another unit, the Green Berets.
Yo,
After
bro,
he
this
finished
guy
his
is
tour of
eating
duty,
more than he can
Flaherty
chew.
decided to do what seemed to be impossible and attempt to join the U.S. Elite Special Forces, the Green Berets. But first, he had to get yet another
Boss.
height waiver.
Don't tell me he became successful to join the fucking military that is special force, that the Green Berets, you know, infamous even in here in my country. Don't tell me managed to join. Please, bro. God damn this guy.
waiver before being allowed to apply. But his determination paid off, and he got through the
Oof.
punishing selection process with flying colors. The following year, he was
God
back in
damn,
Vietnam,
bro.
engaged in special operations behind enemy lines. This period of his service was shrouded in mystery, but what is known is that he received a rank of captain, 2 bronze medals, and 2 Purple Hearts for combat wounds. In the early 1970s, the armed forces of the United States were struck by a notorious reduction in force. The first to be
guy,
ousted
bro,
were the
he's
captains
stopping,
and
I don't know.
lieutenants, and Flaherty was one of them. In 1971, he became jobless. Richard returned home to New York, where he was welcomed by family and friends as a hero. It was a moment of joy, but also the beginning of Flaherty's downfall. He tried to start a life as a civilian by getting a job, and even went to study at the University of Miami. This whole new life was, however, too tough for him. It all went downhill in 1975, when his fiancée died.
God damn,
Flaherty
bro.
returned to doing what he knew best, but his later life is mainly shrouded in mystery. But there are people who witnessed his engagements in Africa, working for private contractors, and as an agent working for the CIA and DEA. Somehow, in the early 1990s, Flaherty ended up in Aventura homeless shelter in Florida. In the early hours of the morning of May 9, 2015, Flaherty was killed in Miami by a hit-and-run driver.
Bro,
Captain Richard
boss,
Flaherty.
bro, what the fuck? Seriously? Hit and run, bro. God damn, bro. A warrior like him died like that, just like that, hit and run. God damn.
Was a hero cut from the army, to which he gave everything he had and more.
Oh.
Despite his short height,
Yo, could
he
have
had left a
died in
mark
the
on
war,
the military
bro.
as one of the best the 101st Airborne had. He was the giant killer.
For real, bro. Guys, salute to Richard Flaherty, bro. He's the beast. Small but terrible. The giant killer. You know, I would never imagine him dying in a car crash, you know. I thought he would die somewhere in a war, you know, in a badass way. Somewhere in Middle East or some shit, you know. If I was a soldier like that, I would never imagine myself dying in the stabbings. Cause bro, I've been into war. Or car crash. Or hit and run, bro. Yo. Right. Imagine having to constantly prove yourself to other people, you know. Having to work hard, double or triple than other people, you know. Yeah, this guy managed to join Green Beret, bro. And his height was like 4 feet, you know. Yeah. But hey, that's it, guys. That's the smallest soldier to ever serve U.S. Army. You know, he's not even a soldier, boy. He's a beast, bro. But hey, like the video, guys. Subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell button for post notifications. If you have any suggestions, comment down below. I'll see you guys soon.